What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to a star brighter than the sun, this time with episode 7. We had a few really nice moments last week with our main characters. Again, the names, yeah, Jesus, terrible. But a little leading, a little bit start of the episode, seeing Kamashiro's mother kind of pause the moment, but that was really nice. Other than that, I don't really remember all too much, to be honest, last week. I remember quite enjoying the episode, but there wasn't any kind of like major events or anything, I don't think. Oh dear. No, I always used to like this girl in high school, and she had a big nose, and quite evidently I've got a big nose, and I always used to worry about our noses hitting each other. As you do. I've never done that though. I've never headbutted a girl by accident. I think I've been headbutted by a girl, not going to kiss them or anything, but just like act by accident, like them like standing up or something. But it wasn't too bad. As you can tell, I've had a few injuries on my nose. That one didn't really affect me. These guys really are never gonna beat these fucking 10-year-old allegations, are they? Then again, I'm a bit of a, I've got a sweet tooth. I absolutely got a sweet tooth. He still thinks I'm 10. I think you're both 10. I think you're both bloody 10 years old. But that's one of the nice things, isn't it, I guess? I forget how this series started off, because it has been a few weeks. This is the series that did like skip from primary school to middle school to high school, isn't it? Yeah, it was. I remember not being. I remember being very unimpressed by that, to be honest with you. That first episode really was not great. But so it's quite amazing how much I've come to enjoy this show. I wouldn't say it's the most enjoyable romance this season. I think there's a few that are beating this one out, but it's been steadily improving, I think. But it's one of those things where you shouldn't judge too early, because it does get a lot better after that initial episode. And it wasn't like that first episode worst thing ever, but it was just like incredibly badly paced. two whole schools worth of time in one episode. So in that regard, like, because we went through that so quickly, it almost makes sense. Like, because of that bad writing, it almost makes sense that these characters are still 10 years old. And I think there's intentional, of course, as well. I mean, we heard from the dialogue there. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot we're doing fucking English, aren't we? See, I remember doing a Christmas play, but I can't remember what I was. I think I was one of the three wise men or something. Like, I didn't have a long part or anything like that, but I think I had like a couple of lines. I really can't remember it though. Maybe something my memory's repressed. That feels like something that would stick out to you. So yeah, maybe my memory, maybe I was just so embarrassed, and maybe I just repressed that memory. I think that was the only time I was ever in like a play or something though. I'm not too good with anything like that. Like when we had to do presentations and things, I'd always be like one of the worst. One of the major reasons for that wasn't because I was an introvert of anything back then. I was actually probably much more extroverted, but I just never bothered doing the presentations. Like, I do the absolute bare minimum and just like wing it, and that doesn't really work when you're trying to do a presentation. That's how it feels to be a Marvel fan. I've never been a. Oh yeah, I forgot about that as well last week. The fucking shoe incident. That was hilarious, wasn't it? Not anything major though. Yeah, I'm not a major fan of Marvel. Like I did used to really like watch the movies and used to watch pretty much all of them. But then it just got to a stage where there was loads of TV shows, like 10 movies a year, and it's just like you have to watch this one to understand this one, and it feels like you're missing out if you haven't watched this one. It's like, well, I'm just gonna stop watching them, and if I just got to watch all this material just to watch this other one thing that I watch, that's what I think they're doing a bit better nowadays. They're making them a bit more. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're giving them a bit more they're self kind of serving. I'm not sure, I can't remember what the word for it is, but you don't have to watch the rest of them to get this movie, for example. I think that's I think that's just terrible design of movies. A movie should always be. Sorry to pause and go on this rant. It's not really anything to do with what's going on right now. But a movie should be self-contained. I think that's the word for it. You should. I mean, if it's like a sequel to something, like even with horror movies, like you watch one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, Friday the 13th, you can just watch that movie. You haven't got to watch the rest of it to get that movie. Some series you do, and you can kind of make exceptions for some series, but I think in 99% of cases, a movie should be made to just be enjoyed as it is, even if there is stuff that adds to it that that you could know about the previous movie and that enhance your experience. I still feel like it should be made a bit like Terminator 2 and so on. Like it should be made so you can just anyone can enjoy that movie even if they haven't seen the prior material. And I think that's the case with Chainsaw Man Reze Arc. I haven't seen either of these movies. A good comparison to this would be Chainsaw Man Reze Arc and Demon Slayer. Again, I haven't actually seen them myself, but I've heard that people that haven't actually seen Chainsaw Man have actually gone to watch the series itself from just watching the Reze Arc, and they can watch that and still enjoy that as a movie by itself, as a self-contained movie. Whereas I imagine, I haven't heard anyone say anything about this, but I imagine with the Demon Slayer movie, it's the case of if you just walk into that, you probably don't really know what the hell's going on or how they got there or anything. So it's yeah, sorry to go on a bit of a rant like that, but just on the topic of her not watching the earlier entries, that's just bad filmmaking. I think that's just bad knowledge. Like even I remember watching The Dark Knight. When I watched The Dark Knight before I watched Batman Begins, and it was like I really enjoyed The Dark Knight even without watching Batman Begins. Like great filmmakers make great movies that anybody could watch even if it is a sequel. And I did mention some horror movies there, but horror movies maybe are some of the biggest perpetrators of that, to be honest, like the Scream movies and such. Less so the earlier ones, but the ones that have come out lately, I'm really not a big fan of. It's a lot of English I got to remember here, isn't it? Can you imagine we didn't do many plays at our school in general, my high school especially. Can you imagine them doing a play of a foreign language? I feel like it would just be it'd be terrible. But it'd be very embarrassing and like people would forget and yeah, I feel like it would go very badly. The Cowardly Lion looks more like a gong thing. Not quite given lying, is it? Surely they could have found something better than this. I guess he's the director, judging by the jumper. Kansas! It's not too bad. Like I said, like fair play to him. It doesn't sound. It's English, but like if us in England done a Japanese one, it would. Yeah, it would. Yeah, no, it wouldn't happen. They're invested. Oh my god! What the fuck? Look at her. Look, Jesus. What the hell? What the fuck? Can you imagine? These guys, like, I'm just thinking right now, these guys are probably just going to get on with their life after this. Talking about, again, this play wouldn't happen in any of the schools I went to in general, but if these boys done this during a play, like, you ain't living that down, right? Like, surely, like, you've got to bully these guys for the rest of their lives. What the hell? Just so blatantly. Like, you hear about this in Japan, like, in Asia being a problem, where they have to have their kind of shutter sounds on their phones and such to combat it. I mean, it happens everywhere else as well, don't get me wrong, but clearly it's that much of a problem there. Do this at school during a whole play with hundreds of people behind you. Like, this is some slimy ass shit. What the hell? How can you be so brazen? You heard me there. I said they're invested. They want to get up close. They want to see it. But no, they're just trying to take pictures under her skirt so brazenly. And now they've just ruined this whole thing. What the hell? What is going on here? This is definitely not 10-year-old territory. This isn't. Jesus Christ. Sneaky bastards. I say sneaky bastards. They're not even being sneaky about it. They're just so they're so brazen. They're just like, no, I mean, they are very far away, but they're not subtle whatsoever, are they? I think they probably look further away in that shot than they actually are. What the hell, bro? What kind of loser do you have to be to do this in general, but even more so like here? And now you've just. Really? You're not gonna call them out? Now you look silly. They've just embarrassed her. Bruh, if I'm doing that, I'm calling them out. Because I embarrass myself for nothing. What the hell, bro? We're just letting that go? Is that not sexual assault? Can we not be calling someone over this? What's going on here? No wonder it happens in Japan so often. No one says anything about it. What the hell? I can't believe this. We're just totally just skipping over that. Like, not even from a story perspective. From the character's perspective, we're just letting that go. That's not like, you hear that term, boys will be boys. You can use that with some things. I don't think that applies here. I don't think you can say boys will be boys to this. What the hell, bro? How are you getting away with this? How are you getting away with this? Kill them. Not that far, but. Please get some slaps in there, ladies. Reprimand these boys. Bloody hell. Again, if I'd done this when I was in high school, I'd get fucked. You probably get excommunicated. And I was going to, we didn't get to see it though. I was hoping we'd see it. So we did resort to violence. Good. Good. So we saw this girl last episode, right? Kind of looks like she could be his brother. Oh, that is her. That is her. Okay, makes sense. Cousins. Yeah, they did look quite. They've got that same kind of derpy face. As bad as that sounds. They've got that like 10-year-old slightly derpy face. Good job. Good job, bro. Honestly, round of applause for you. At least someone took action there. To tell you violence is wrong, sometimes violence is necessary. Sometimes violence teaches. This sounds terrible, but violence does teach. If you remember, like when you're younger, if you got slapped on the bum by your parents or something, like pain teaches things. Pain is one of the best things to learn from because it's a repercussion, and it's a repercussion you feel. I know it's bad and it's wrong, but like when you look at it, having like if you answer a question wrong and you get reprimanded by taking something away, like you won't like that, so you try not to do it again. If you get reprimanded by getting hit, you're like, damn, I better not fucking ever do that again. So you do learn quicker. You do learn better. It's wrong, but it works. It's one of the best learners. So hopefully those boys learn a lesson right there. And where was the shutter sound on their cameras, phones, by the way? Where was that? I imagine you could probably like mod your phone or something to stop that. Maybe there's something you can like take out of the phone to remove that sound or something. I don't know. But I'm glad they didn't just fucking get away with it like that. That was ridiculous. Like that face. Like there's nothing going on. It looks like there's nothing going on behind the face. But with both of those two, I don't know how you guys feel, but it's just like, yeah, there's nothing going on in their heads, which is like a positive thing. I take it as a positive. It doesn't sound positive, but I kind of those type of people I envy the most, honestly. People that don't overthink things, that aren't so self-conscious, aren't so aware. I did used to be like that, and I appreciate that in a sense. If you're a good person, but I wasn't a good person when I was like that. I didn't used to care about others' opinions and thoughts and how my things affected them. So I think that's why I rather appreciate people like this, because I was on like the chaotic evil side of that, whereas this is like the good side, whatever you call it. I don't know. Still no sign of how those boys are looking. Like that's the only negative I can say about this. To be honest, I kind of wanted to see them get punched, or at least see the outcome of their faces after they got absolutely destroyed by him. Going on here. Their eyes just kind of met. I wish we did. Russia. This bear sounded insulted. You said that. Oh, the bear literally just said, "Oh." Did I? Oh shit. Well, I mentioned this in my Monster Wants to Eat Me video. I've always been very self-conscious of my back. I used to have acne on my back, and I think I still do. I don't really check, to be honest with you. I'm really self-conscious about it. I'd never go like to the beach. I would, but I would never like take my shirt off. I'd never do swimming lessons. I'd always say I have athlete's foot, but I've never had athlete's foot in my life. But I always did in high school. When I play football, even now, when I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm over it, but just like through sheer pattern, I don't shower after a football game. I get all my clothes off, put my normal ones on, get home, have a shower, and then wash the clothes I wore. So a bit more work for me, but guess that's just like ingrained in what I do now. I just try and hide my back to people as much as possible. When I'd get changed in the change rooms, I'd always try and make sure my front was facing. Yeah. So I get him there, I get him there. Glad we got a bit more of this guy here. They do seem to have like set up some kind of romances between other characters here, haven't they? But haven't progressed them too much. Not that I'm awfully mad at that. I like it when romance shows focus more on the main cast than anybody else. Sometimes that can be an issue where they focus too much on the side cast. I would like a little more with the side cast here, I think. I do like them, especially the girls. But now this grey haired fellow as well. Oh bloody hell, bro! Calm down. That's so faint, isn't he? He's like so passive. What does that say? I wish they could translate that. Probably not massively important if they didn't. Again, just an absolute 10-year-old right here. Just can't even look at them. Good reading of the room, bro. So yeah, he does remind me a lot of myself, my current self, to be honest with you. This guy, actually. Yeah, I was gonna say that a minute ago as well. They when they looked across the room, it's not exactly romantic, but they have a slightly similar vibe, I guess. That you can tell they get along well. Sapporo. Can't wait for the Sapporo arc in Golden Camry that should be coming out soon. Just two potatoes. ID man. Except about every story ever. In one sense or another. Kakoi senpai. Well, that's just sisters, isn't it? I used to have an older sister, so yeah, it would always be quite different. The annoying thing is like with the parents, that she's like an absolute devil. When the parents come home, she's the victim. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy. Jealous of the cousin, are you? You telling me that you would want to be his cousin? Let's not look too much further into that. No, best not. Definitely best not. Like the thing I was talking about with my back earlier, no one ever brought it up. I'm not sure if I was thinking about it just after my reaction to this monster wants to eat me. No one's ever brought anything up regarding that and my self consciousness to it. I'm not sure if that makes it worse or better because maybe they were talking about it in their own time or bitching about it, or maybe no one actually cared. Is the thing. I'll never know. But in my mind, people thought about it, so I thought about it. But like I said, no one ever actually spoke about it. I never outwardly heard anything. So yeah. But I certainly wouldn't want people talking about my issues like this to other people. I never told anyone about it. So you never have that issue if you don't tell people. Is the thought process, isn't it? I just assumed people knew what I was doing because it seemed pretty obvious. But like I said, I never actually heard anyone say anything, so. It's not fall over. They're absolute fucking children, aren't they? But that's what makes them endearing, isn't it? Absolute babies. I think I'd probably fall over within seconds if I tried that. Always been quite agile and flexible, not too. I'm alright with my balance actually. Middle back. Exactly. Funny enough, I brought up that this week as well, where I sat in two people's seats in the same showing because I didn't even bother looking at where my seat was. It was just somewhere in that area, and there was only like 10 other people in a bit of like for 300 odd seats, and they also happened to be around that area. So I think that says that is probably the best area. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Another nice episode today. Seeing a little bit of the play here. I didn't even realize we were in Hokkaido, to be honest with you. I can't believe what this was going on here. Like Jesus, like that hair as well. That hair is awful. Puke green and piss yellow. Like Jesus Christ. Should have got even more. Should have been like kicked out of school at least for like a certain period of time, if not indefinitely, because that was crazy. But yeah, another nice episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comment section though. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you next week with episode 7.